This is the kind of stuff that the creator shares with me and that goes through my mind. At the top, I wrote regeneration. I was contemplating why we were called a generation of people. And then I was thinking about regeneration and what I was told in the afterlife about electricity and about our world, why there's so many songs, about it. Electric Boogie, Electric Kingdom, Electricity. There's so many songs about electricity. Thunder only happens when it's raining. When I was in the afterlife and the creator explained to me that there's some aspect of regeneration and electricity to not only his being, but our being, it's not so surprising, but it might be a little strange to people who haven't contemplated it before. I'm going to attempt to explain some of this to you. I would love to try to do it live, but then I don't have the visual aids that will help you to understand. Before I get back to what's on the board, I want to talk to you about vampires. I never really had an interest in them, never watched too many vampire movies, but I need to make you understand that the way that our media, our movies make Draculas and everything like these bloodsuckers, it's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about eternal souls that live forever in some sort of way that is beyond our human comprehension to understand in this place. So the word vampire, if you watch The Matrix, I only watched part 1 and probably part 2, but if you watch The Matrix, the newer ones, the Merovingians, they're the ones that are vampires in the movie, and they play the bad guys because they're the 13th bloodline of the Illuminati. Vampires, if you consider that perhaps they're made to regenerate and there's a form of electricity that is used, then you will know why the word amperes is what is used to measure electricity. Obviously the word vampires and amperes are what is used to measure the voltage of electricity. And what I'm talking about is souls that are you can reanimate them, regenerate them. And when I say them, I mean us too, because yes, we are reincarnated and we've been lied to about that as well. So this energy that the creator gave us that lives inside of us, he lives inside of us, is him. What he did is he gave us that portion of himself to protect us and to keep us, especially in this very dark time that we're in right now. I don't even like talking about him because I'm not that good at it, and I never really thought about it before, but I do remember all the cruel, disgusting, heinous darkness that the others, the church, the occult, are planning for our generation, because we are the last generations and we are the ones that they have intended on leaving behind. It's a really grotesque plan. It has to do with North Korea, its leader, the Pope, all false religions, and if you listen to me thoroughly, I'll break it all down for you and you'll know what I'm talking about at some point. Look at the word electricity, but look again, what do we have? ET in the middle, and this portion looks almost like church because you have C, and this kind of looks like an H. If you have it there, there's the R, there's the other C, and this looks like an H. You can see that with your own eyes. What I'm trying to show you is what spelling does when it casts spells. The E's could be 3s for 33rd degree gematria. That's how that works, okay? And it's no coincidence that they look like electric volts. When it's like I said, Electric Kingdom, Big City that Prince sang, and also this is why they have us voting, because of the word elect. Elect the church. That's what this says. Now, the CH and the cross that you can see is going to become very, very important to the lie of the church. These people are warring against God, and who I'm talking about now is Korach. He, in Numbers 16, it talks about his rebellion. Now what's important is the 16, because that 16 or 19 runs throughout what I have to say. It's a code. It's part of the 1914 code. And it starts with the occult, and it also has to do with what we have come to know as the 314 pi equation. You know, hopefully you're a numbers person. I got to show you some things about Korach, disguised as Kim Jong-un in Korea, and the occult, the word or, and why George is used as a code word in our United States of America as well. You'll see all those words that I was talking about here on the board. I wrote Regeneration Vatican Secrets. 13th century Inquisition left them with the Book of the Occult, the Book of Dead. That's what they were studying. And then they went on to study the occult and regeneration. Now here, what I've done is break down the alphanumerics, because O is the 15th letter, but you add 5 and 1, it's 6. C is the third, C is the third, U is 21, 2 and 1 is 3. I carried up as a 1, and T is 22, but 2 plus 2 is 4. So the word occult is 63314, which is equivalent to the 314 pi equation. That's very, very important. So the occult equals 314 pi. Now, we know in English spelling, the C and the K make the same sound. Kite or cat. So what I've done is exchange the C for a K, and you get OK, cult. It's the cult, KKK. KKK. Now this is really important to what I explain as the 1914 code, because even though they say that the circumference of the ratio of a circle is 314 pi, and that's what it means here in America, that's BS. I have 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4 plus 1 equals 9. 4 plus 4 plus 1 equals 9. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So right there we have the 1914 code, both this way and this way. Okay, we have the 314 pi, 314 pi. The same thing we have in the word occult. No way that could be a coincidence. I will keep going. Here in Numbers 16, Korach and his crew rebel. So chapter 16, line 19, that would be 1619. Korah gathered the entire assembly against them. It's the 1619 again, talking about Korach. Isn't that strange? Let me show you more. Korach, CH or CH, creating the word church. CH or CH. In Hebrew, the K makes the sound like that. They can both be the same. So if you just drop that, then you can see KRC, the code for crack. Within the name, K is the 11th letter, O equals 6, R equals 9, because 18 is 1 plus 8 equals 9, O is 5 plus 1. So again, we have the same 1696 or 666 or 316 with a 666 and a 1318 code for the mark of the beast. And then here at the bottom I wrote rock, because they say Cain killed Abel with a rock. R-O-C-H or R-O-C-K. These things I was shown in the life after, and I've talked about it in a couple of my other videos, that because we are reincarnated, because they have cast the spells of cinema over our entire generation, controlled the media, controlled the food, controlled the narrative of absolutely everything, education, art, media, fashion. Who cares about all that stuff? They controlled the media of God, of the Creator, because He has, like I said, the ability to reanimate, and they've been using Him through time, contractually using His intellect and then trying to recreate it at CERN. And that's why they say they're working on the God particle. And that's why the middle initials of Prince R. Nelson, CERN. It's all the same. The lie is being told in a way that, like Back to the Future, the movie Back to the Future, our Bible is to be like somehow our breakdown or something, because we have been lied to about how to reach, how to communicate with our Creator, the fact that some man named Jesus came and you're supposed to pray to Him. All of that New Testament, that's all a lie. It's all part of the breakdown. It's the breakdown of our very creator and of our souls, you guys. It's in 2020, when all of this stuff started coming to me, I remembered in my life after life experience that they told me that we were going to be brought back in some way. And it was weird because it was 2010 when I died, and I remember the creator showing me how people would talk on Zoom and stuff like that. And I remember that it seemed very much like the Jetsons to me at the time, and how people were separated, and it seemed very sad. And it showed the separation of people, and it showed me how dark the world would be. And they told me that they were going to need my soul here at this time to tell these things, because they're gonna, there's like a heinous plan to take over your soul, and to make you think that your creator has left you for all time, and then perhaps to coax you into taking the RFID chip, lining up like cattle, perhaps outside of pharmacies to do such things. I read once in a magazine, well, it was during the COVID lockdown, there was some articles that said, well, let me show you. It said, our experience with COVID would help us to learn if we were ever attacked by aliens or something like that. So what I'm saying is this Gog Magog, evil versus good, good versus evil war that we are in right now, they plan to use this false illusion that surrounds us, the spooky electric haze, the media, again, holographics. When I was in the afterlife, it's all very holographic because you're separated from your physical self. So what we will see in the skies, or I don't know what kind of show they're going to be putting on, man. I don't know. I just remember that it was very dark and that they wanted to collect souls. The goal for the darkness of this world, the evil religion, why tell the lie? Why would they tell that? Because they don't want you knowing that your creator lives in you and that you can connect to him that way. They want you looking over here when you go camping and looking over there for Jesus and looking at this church and looking down there and over there, but they don't want you looking inside yourself. And that's where the Chalak Elokam in Ma'al is, the portion of heaven that the creator gave to each and every one of us. Man, he lives in me. He gives me all this information. I woke up in 2020, and just like Harriet Tubman, if you don't know her, go watch the movie. She can hear from God, and so can I. And so can you, if you listen. And that's why I'm here, to try to expose this crazy sounding story, because it's the truth. And craziness is better than mundane mediocrity any day, I say. There's a lot more to go. There's a lot more written on that board, about the occult, about spelling, about casting spells, about why Jerusalem has Salem at the end, and why the witches got burned, because women that could hear from Hashem, of course the evil doesn't want around. Of course they want to burn them, and thought that they were going to get rid of them and their lineage, and then take on their children and grandchildren as sex slaves, God forbid, in the future. Because the Creator showed me the future in the past, and I came back here to fight for us. I hope you want to fight for yourself, for your family, for your children, for all the unborn children. And by fighting for yourself, I just mean recognizing your Creator and standing up against evil. There's so many lyrics that I could sing right now about these messages, but I want to get back to the board and the word or. The word or is very important. You'll notice it's in the word George, G-E or G-E. It's in the word Korach, K-O-R-O-C-H. So the or is very important, because the word or, O-H-R, in Hebrew actually means light. Since O is the 15th letter, you add the 1 and the 5 and you get 6. Since R is the 18th letter, you add the 1 and the 8 and you get 9. So O-R, O-H-R, which means light. In Hebrew, the O-R in English is equivalent to 6-9. Why do I have a V-T here? Because in Hebrew, Vav is the 6, Vav, and Tet is the 9. So we have Vav, Tet, or the VT for Vatican. Here we have E EA or GE. See how EA and GE look the same? So think about the eagle has landed. Go watch my pineal gland video. The eagle has landed. So George is the code word. George Washington, George Orwell, George Floyd, and so many more. It has to do with the word or and Korok. They use it as a code word mostly because it's equal to 6'9", which is actually 666. Got to look at the name Korok one more time. I got to show you something. So here, K-O-R-O-C-H. You can see how the R resembles a K, and then the CH is phonetically equivalent to a K. So within the name Korok, we have K, K, K. That's why I put it there. So all through his name, we have 16969. That same 1619 goes with numbers 16, like I just showed you. And it also goes with Enoch 6:1 through 6, where they talk about how the sky people came and had sex with women, earth women. So that again is the 16 or 61 code. And then also why the New Testament was introduced in 1611, because it's the same 16 or pi, 314 pi is, if you hear 1914 or 314 pi or just 94 or the EA, I know it can be a little confusing. I say, see, 9 times 4 is 36, so the 36 looks like a GE. Okay, so then we carry over the GE or GE, the same OR. So in essence, it's 946994. It's just a code for straight up evil. When these things first started happening to me and I was putting these things online, I had some people tell me I just think too much or whatever, or that I've gone crazy. One of my ex-best friends put on my daughter's website that people's mental illness tends to get worse as they get older, referring to me. I think that's kind of funny because actually I'm getting younger, and my brain and my heart and my neshama, which is my soul, are getting bigger and brighter. I grew up with evil in my household. It was all around me. I recognize it when I see it. I recognized it in the afterlife, and I'm trying to bring your attention to it because it's all around us, disguised as politics, religion, education. Everything that you think that you have come to know in this United States of America was meant as our downfall.